All right, welcome back to Soft TV. We are on the singer-songwriter series, FGL here. And man, we've got a bumper series today, man. 4 artist episode. We had, Bitty Macbeth just a little bit earlier on. And of course, Amanda T kicked the whole thing off. But right now, I want everybody out there in Soft TV land and in the studio to please put your hands together and welcome Peter Hoflich.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's no confession without falsehood. We are creatures of conceit and rumor, flowers of vanity and full of pretension. We've been lashed by the tendrils of madness. Will we walk the line like Johnny Cash did? Or will we simply wait in line, victims of ego, unaware of our blindness? We are fooled into living life backwards. We blaze contentious throughout the morning, begging the future to protect our kingdom, dodging the arrows that burst our delusion. We live on planets of hallucination. Will we walk the line like Johnny Cash did? Or will we simply wait in line? We assume that we've mastered reality, and we think that is air we are breathing. Drenched in the sweat of our mutual boredom, we have licensed the death of our spirits. The wind of inanity blows through the ghost town of our passions and keenest desires. Will we walk the line like Johnny Cash did? Or will we simply wait in line, facing down fantasy in the boardroom? We emphasize our mutual envy. Our children will overtake us. They own the future we strive to take for ourselves. The finishing line is a moving target, forever focusing us on our failure. Will we walk the line like Johnny Cash did? Or will we simply wait in line? Life is a journey without an object. Without our courage, we really have nothing. Without our courage, we really have nothing. Without our courage, we really are nothing.
All right, Peter Hoflich, everybody.
Thank you very much.
All right, Pete, welcome down to Soft TV. So good to have you here to perform for us today.
Thanks so much for it. Yeah, it's great to be here.
And you've got your friend with you here. Yeah.
Mr. Jay Lee himself.
All
I'm
right.
honored to be playing with this gentleman.
Honored
A
to be here.
fine musician.
Thank you very much.
And a great collaborator. Thanks.
Okay, Pete, we've known each other for quite some time now.
Yeah.
And I've seen you a tireless supporter of local music as well. How long have you been in Singapore?
I've been in Singapore for 11 years. I came here in 2003, just around the time of SARS. So it wasn't a great time to be job hunting in Singapore, but I stuck around. I love this place.
Good to know. Okay. And what was the title of that first song you performed for us?
Well, I guess it's a provisional title. I call it Deernig, which is a word I made up, and it doesn't mean
Deernig.
anything. It means
something sort of promiscuous, but
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then,
it's
okay.
a bit of a rumination on sort of the trials and frustrations of daily life. You know, the things, you know, the themes of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon album. You know, madness, boredom, growing old. You know, time, the persistence of money, and the threat of everything around you, without being too ominous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, how did it all start for you? Well, when do you start playing?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, I've been a lifelong music lover. I mean, first thing I ever bought with my own money was Ozzy Osbourne's "Speak of the Devil" live album. That was, I think, 1982. You know, I've always loved music. I've spent a lot of money on buying recordings, and unfortunately, I guess I grew up in a scene that didn't have so many sort of budding and talented musicians like what I see now here in Singapore. I mean, Singapore, it's fantastic. You know, you go to clubs and you see people who are your age who you can relate to, you know, who you can make friends with, and they're fantastic musicians. They can inspire you. I didn't really have that growing up in Toronto when I was a youngster, and never learned an instrument. I always wanted to play guitar, but of course I was forced to play piano, which I didn't really apply to my own personal music yet. Maybe never will, but piano was my introduction to music, and eventually I started traveling the world. I lived in Taiwan for a while. I lived in Japan, came to Singapore, and really got to meet a lot of musicians, got a lot of inspiration from them. And when my son was about to be born in 2001, I decided, well, I'm going to have to pick up the guitar. I'm going to have to really do something about this finally. You know, my life is changing, and I want something, you know, in my personal interest to change as well. So I started learning guitar. That was 13 years ago. So I'm a bit of a late starter. I started playing the guitar at age 32.
Well, besides being a guitar player, I know that you are a frontman.
Yeah.
You have your own band, and do you want to tell us about your band?
Yeah, I'm in this band called MegalomaniA. So we play
Megalomania.
we play rock and roll songs. I'm wearing my MegalomaniA vest here.
Okay, can we get a shot of Megalomania? Yeah, there you go, Megalomania.
Yeah. So I'm in this band called MegalomaniA with 3 other very, very talented musicians. My buddy Val on drums, and Danko on guitar, and Mohan on bass. And we love to play hard rock songs, and we don't do originals. We just do cover songs. So when I want to dream about doing originals, I sort of get motivated and just do it myself, which is what I'm doing here today. Yeah.
Well, but aside from the original thing and all that, I've caught your egg. I've caught Megalomania in concept. Wow, you guys are. What's the best word? Let me see. You guys are, you know, you're fantastic. Definitely. You guys are intimidating to the follow-up act. Okay.
We have a lot of fun on stage.
Any
definitely.
follow-up act, anybody who's coming on after you, intimidating, because you guys are so polished. You're so touched, and especially Pete. Everybody, you got to catch Pete Hoflich. You know, as a frontman, crazy.
Yeah.
With your, you know, that Aussie line. What do you say?
Oh Lord,
Lord,
yeah.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, we're actually playing on October 24th at Platinum. So we're gonna do 2 sets. We're gonna break away from our former pattern. Formerly, the past live shows, if anyone's ever seen them, is that we would stick to playing Black Sabbath songs. And this time around, we're gonna do 2 sets. First set is gonna be a bunch of hard rock songs from the 70s. You know, Judas Priest, Thin Lizzy, a whole bunch of Steppenwolf, a whole bunch of other stuff, Deep Purple. And then the second set is gonna be what we've always done, the Black Sabbath. So gonna you know, shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I'll definitely try to make it down. I've got a gig on my own, I think, but I'll definitely try to make it down.
October 24th, yeah.
Okay, so how do you meet Jay over there?
That's a great story too. I think Jay was, and I think you were even there. Jay was playing. I wasn't playing. Jay was playing at Obama's down in Tanjung Pagar. And that night,
sometime back, right?
Yeah. So that night, I happened to select. You know, I wear a lot of rock T-shirts, and that night I happened to select a Big Star T-shirt, and Jay's band was playing, and Jay's a huge fan of Big Star. I know that, and I heard this voice from the stage, and somebody saying, "Is that somebody wearing a Big Star T-shirt out there in the audience?" And I'm thinking, "Oh, that must be me." So we went and struck up a conversation afterwards, and became close friends. And this time around, I needed somebody to help me out on the guitar for this soft TV, get my songs whip them into shape. And Jay was very supportive, and has helped me out. So I'm really grateful for Jay's support. Jay rules, man. Jay's awesome.
And Jay, what band was that you were playing with?
At that time, there was a band called No Mojo.
Oh, the
And,
Noble, Noble Youth. This
yeah,
was
we're-
part of Green Beat,
Green
right?
Beats, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So and we pretty much split up now. People come and go, expat living. I think they just transient population. So, but in the meanwhile, I've met a lot of wonderful people here in Singapore,
Right.
through open mic sessions primarily,
Yeah.
and of course events like Green Beats, and then of course Soft TV. And so it's an honor to really be.
And
able
it's a
to
great
have-
scene too.
It really
There's
is.
so much
It really
going on.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really changed.
I in fact caught your open mic act last time at the Beast, just last week, and great set, guys. Great set. I enjoyed
It
it.
was a wonderful evening.
Yeah, it was.
A lot
it was.
happened.
I had to leave early, but wow, he was rocking that night. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on now to song number 2.
Okay.
So, Pete, you want to tell us what it's all about? And
Okay, there's a funny story behind this song. This is my sort of Sade song. This is, if Sade ever hears this song, I hope that she picks it up and performs it for her next album.
Oh, okay.
But I was playing badminton with my kid, and my kid, he hit some wicked shot, and I couldn't get it, and he got the point, and all of a sudden he said, "Oh, gosh, Dad, sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your pride." I'm thinking, I didn't mean to hurt your pride. What kind of kid says that to his dad? But then I started thinking a little more, and I'm thinking, I could turn that into a lyric. That could be the starting point of a new song. So I started sort of humming it on the spot. I didn't mean to hurt your pride. The first thing I said, well, sounds like a Sade song. But I went with it, and here's me, Peter Hoflich, singing Sade, sort of. But it's a song I wrote. I wrote the music, I wrote the lyrics. So, and it's sort of a bittersweet love song. It's not based on anything that I myself experienced, but maybe some people out there can relate to it in some way or another. I mean, it's also written from a woman's point of view, so it's really something I've never done before. But it's kind of fun to do these sort of things as a writer. I'm a professionally, I'm a writer. That's my job, and now I'm writing lyrics and just really loving it. It's a fantastic thing to do. To write lyrics, to put words together, and to rhyme them. It's a great discipline, and I'm really having a lot of fun doing it.
Wonderful. So if you guys are ready, let's hear it one time for
All right.
Peter Hoflich featuring Jay.
Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I didn't mean to hurt your pride. I always thought you'd stay by my side. You were my lover, I was your tool. Betrayed by darkness, you played the fool. We plot a course by the light of the moon, but with each step our heart sinks into gloom. We feel the pull of destiny to the core. If we'll true it will all turn to gold. We were as tight as two lovers could be. We had a love that stretched to eternity. Under the doorstep, over the stair, our love would broadcast through the air. The sweetness of the day is washed away with every scornful word you have to say. I want so much for your smile to return, and empty you stand there, no fire burns. The world is ending, my heart's not mending. 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 Stay silent, stay silent, stay silent, stay silent, stay silent.
All right, Peter Hoflich. Indeed. Okay, we'll give Pete 30 seconds to take his vest off.
Yeah. So getting a bit warm in here. We're warming up. We're having fun.
Okay, Pete. So you tell me that you grew up in Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay, and how's the music scene in Toronto compared to say Singapore?
Oh gosh. Well, Toronto's sort of the cultural capital of Canada, and Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver. It's got a vibrant music scene, a lot of music colleges. So I think a lot of people move into Toronto to sort of see what's going on. In Canada, we have something that I think Singapore is sort of toying with the idea of, which is to have a certain amount of established Canadian content on the radios. So we call this CanCon. I don't know the rules, but yeah, Canadian content
All right.
on the radio. So we do really sort of support our art scene quite a lot,
That's good,
and
that's good, yeah.
there's a lot of really great Canadian bands that have developed. So we've got a great heritage going all the way back to the 60s. You know, really fantastic bands like Steppenwolf, Rush, Triumph, you know, Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush, like all these really great bands. And, you know, it's just sort of a constant thing. And there's a lot of live venues in Canada. We had our dark days at one point where there were a lot of tribute bands going on. So like every band that would be playing would be like either doing, you know, Deep Purple or Black Sabbath or AC/DC, or there'd be tribute bands to Canadian bands, you know, which is funny because those actual Canadian bands could be playing too. But yeah, so, but we moved on beyond that, and there's been a lot of really great Canadian talent that's come out. You know, you got your Michael Bublé, you got your Holly Cole, you've got those guys that do the four people who play the one guitar. I don't know, what do they call it? Stand on Earth or something? Yeah, so you've got a lot of really sort of innovative stuff. The Canadian music scene tends to be a little less edgy. It's not so much of the very dark stuff and pushing the boundaries, but there's great musicianship coming out of Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now, you know, how do you see yourself as a singer-songwriter as opposed to being the frontman of Megalomania?
Yeah, well, I mean, for Megalomania, I write songs as well. It's just a part of a band process of, you know, like how do we sort of adopt those songs? How do we play them? How do we work them? So I was previously in a band called Superstar here in Singapore, and we put out an EP. And in that incarnation of musicians, you know, somebody would play the music, and I would, you know, jump in with my lyrics.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun. And with the current dynamic, we're not really doing original songs, so I've decided to sort of step aside and develop them just on a personal level. Plus, the songs that I do, which are acoustic, aren't really so appropriate for the big band, you know. But
Okay.
let's see how it works.
So, you know, and I see your approach to lyric writing and basic melodies for your originals totally different from what you do with Megalomania as well. And is it hard to do, to have to like almost like left side of the brain, right side of the brain, you know?
Yeah. No, I find actually writing songs, writing music, at least at the level that I'm at. I mean, I don't do all the complex arrangement stuff that, you know, Beth did, but I actually find it pretty easy. You know, like if I get a spark of inspiration, it just very quickly develops into a song. And I mean, like the first two songs I've played so far, they just developed out of a line. So the first, for the first song, I was looking through my ancient books of poetry, which I'd written as a teenager, and I pulling out, you know, anything that I might be able to recycle. And I came across this line: "There's no confession without falsehood." I thought, wow, that's kind of cool.
Right?
So I can turn that into a song, and then you know, within I think a couple of days, it was done. And then same thing with Scorn. You know, like you do a verse at a time, and then you know you're happy with it, and then maybe you can't come up with the second verse at that moment, but maybe a day later you're inspired again. And I've been quite lucky in that way. So the 4 songs I'm playing today, I think, are the ones that are quite fully developed. I've also got a lot of songs that aren't really very good, so I'm not going to be playing them anytime soon. But yeah.
Okay. Coming back to what you said, I mean, I relate to that because when I wrote my song, The 5 Cs, it was 5 minutes, and based on just one word, The 5 Cs, which was a popular, you know, Singaporean slang at the time, and and made a few $1,000 out of that. I guess. So,
it's a fantastic song.
Yeah, they can't go wrong. Thank you.
And people love it.
Thanks.
And they can relate to it. That's even better. So.
I'll be more happier if more people play that song, and I get it for royalties.
They will.
Yeah, well. So now, tell us, when you were growing up in Canada and all that, who were your main, you know, musical influences as a musician and also as a songwriter?
I think I was really into Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath. That's really the starting point of it all. I think I went away from that for many years. I stopped listening to Ozzy. I stopped listening to Black Sabbath, but then I came back, and now I'm in this band which does Black Sabbath tribute. So it's where I want to be. I'm very comfortable there. I'm very happy with it. There's a lot of great songwriters. I think I'm also I'm not only into the loud music, I'm also into the very sort of mellow music. So somebody like Leonard Cohen is a major inspiration for me. I'm so happy that, you know, he's still producing songs at age 80. He's got a new album coming out this month. So that's right. Yeah, and you know, James Taylor, Elliott Smith, Nick Drake. You know, people who are brilliant acoustic musicians are people that I really love a lot too. Yeah, and all sorts of genres of music, you know, reggae, everything, 80s pop, 90s pop, you know, hardcore thrash, punk rock, everything. It's all good. Yeah.
So, you know, is that why I see you at practically every other gig in town? You're there, you know, including most of my gigs. You're almost, I think, almost all of my gigs. You're there. You know, I can see.
Yeah.
I can see you coming down to. Is that the thing that drives you?
Yeah, I really miss it when there's not good gigs happening, you know. And I'm so happy that, you know, now we've got this great scene where there's so many wonderful musicians. I mean, last night, for example, there was probably about 3 places I wanted to be at the same time. Unfortunately, I couldn't. Yeah. So last night I went to the Eminent Plaza to see what they were doing down there with their squat. That was really good fun. And, you know, I wanted to see a couple of other things that were going on last night. Just couldn't be in more than one place at the same time. Yes. But it's, I mean, this is a happy problem to have, right? I mean, it's better to have, you know, 3 fantastic gigs going at the same time than none, you know, and I think we're in a good space right now. That's great. Yeah. That's great. And there's so many people who are supporting the scene. So there's someone like you, Farid. I mean, you're fantastic. I mean, the things that you do for the music scene in Singapore.
It's not just me alone. It's James and Leslie. It's a collective
and then
effort.
James and the soft community. I mean, how many of us out there have formed our first and second and third bands, you know, by finding, you know, fellow musicians on soft, right? And buying our equipment and just all the things that soft does is fantastic, you know. And then you got a guy like Mike Spinks who's organizing the open mics, you know, giving the youngsters, you know, the people who are, you know, maybe a little nervous, you know, about going on stage, giving them like an easy venue to, you know, to get their first start. And then you got like, Jeremy with the Dire sessions supporting original music. I mean, there's just so much going on. I'm probably forgetting a whole bunch of people, you know, because there's a really great scene here, and I'm very lucky to be part of it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move on to your third song. And you want to quickly tell us about it? I love this song, actually. I've heard this one.
Okay, this is a song called Even When I'm Right, I'm Wrong. And I told you the story of my first 2 songs where I got the first line and built on that. This one, I actually got the chorus initially. So even when I'm right, I'm wrong. So I thought, you know, it's like, I think I was in a baseball field somewhere watching my son play softball, and, you know, the sun baking down on my brain. And, you know, I came up with this sort of basically the chorus, and then the verses came later, quite a while later. This one actually took a little while to percolate, but once I got the ball rolling, I came up with 4 really great verses. I mean, I like them. I enjoy singing them, and I think some people who've heard it like to sing along, even when I'm writing, because we all know that feeling, right? I mean, hey, definitely. Come on, you know, I'm not wrong, but why is everybody sort of persecuting me, you know? So, you know, there's times when the consensus is not the right consensus, you know. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So.
Okay, well, if you're ready, Pete, and without further ado, we're going to hit you guys out there. Softies, song number 3, Peter Hoflich.
Let's kick up the jams.
All right.
Okay. How does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Everywhere I go, there's people trying to tell me my mission in life is to fail. Can't see the value of all my contribution. The taste in the mouth is gone stale. Wondering how I'm ever gonna face tomorrow in this hell of lies. A vision of the future is coming over me, and it don't look very nice. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong. Why can't we all just get along?
Just get along.
Even when I'm wrong, I love my pretty baby. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong. Walking down the street, there's people looking at me. They don't wish me well. Some guy cuts me off, but he thinks that it's all my fault. He tells me to go to hell. Gonna dream about a brilliant new tomorrow, a place I'll never find. Hell is other people, I guess I gotta face it. Man, I've gotta unwind. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong.
Right, I'm wrong.
Why can't we all just get along?
Just get along.
Even when I'm wrong, I love my pretty baby. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong. Play the game of life, we're all in this together. We take a fair share of abuse, but ask a simple question, you can't get a straight answer. Die, cannot lose.
Checking out the headlines, it's not a pretty picture. Mass hysteria. Looking in the mirror, a stranger looks back at you. Schizophrenia. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong.
Right, I'm wrong.
Why can't we all just get along?
Just get along.
Even when I'm wrong, I love my pretty baby. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong. Wow! Talking to my baby, but she's not listening to me. Basic disconnect. I can't read her mind, but I know what she's thinking. A total lack of respect. Before I was Han Solo, but now I'm just Darth Vader. See what you wanna see. Forget about the good times, just focus on disaster. Believe what you wanna believe. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong.
Right, I'm wrong.
That's why I'm singing this song.
Sing this song.
Even when I'm wrong, I love my pretty baby. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong.
All right, Peter Hoflich.
Okay, pull that one
Even
off.
when I'm right, I am wrong. Well, I told you, Pete, that song, it's got potential, catchy. It's got a catchy hook and
Needs
all
a
that.
hook.
You need for it long to produce it for you, but
Yes, let's do that.
so Pete, I've seen you with so many different genres and all that. You've got your country thing, you've got a Leonard Cohen, and all the other styles. What would you say would be your most favorite form of music?
I guess it's music that I can listen to with my family, where I know that my wife, my son, they're in sync with it as well as me. So I'll put on some Sandy Denny, I'll put on James Taylor. We were playing UB40 the other day, and everyone was really grooving out to it. Peter Tosh, Style Council. We were having a lot of fun with that the other day. So I've been collecting vinyl recently, and my wife brought her 80s vinyl back from Japan with her, so we've been listening to that too.
You're pretty much into vinyl, I understand. I've seen from your Facebook post.
Yeah. Well, it's a special sort of medium, really, for music. You've got the gigantic, album covers, and you got the gatefolds, they open up, the album art. It's just fantastic. You get something like a Yes album with all the beautiful sort of art in there, and it takes you on a journey, and it supplements. You're listening to the music and you're looking at the album cover. As you listen to the music, it becomes very personal. I'm not even talking now about the sound quality. I'm just talking about the sort of the overall experience. If you download a song MP3s from the internet, then you don't get all that extra stuff, unfortunately. And maybe it's saving a lot of trees. That's fine too. But so I think when I put my songs out, I'd like to have them in vinyl, because nowadays bands are offering that opportunity. The new Leonard Cohen, I'm going to buy it on vinyl when it comes out. So,
And there's one thing I've always wanted to ask you, but I didn't do it. Just wouldn't give you the satisfaction. But what's with the hat? You can see that I actually made you feel at home by actually wearing a similar 10-gallon hat. So I see you. Yeah, you do use it in your performances.
Yeah, well, when I do my MegalomaniA thing, I actually put a holographic eyeball up here. So
wow.
Yeah, and then it's good fun because the stage light's reflected, and there's something going on. It's a gimmick, it's a prop, it's a tool, but I was a big fan of the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns that he made with Sergio Leone. So this is the Fistful of Dollars hat, actually.
Right.
So if you watch the movie A Fistful of Dollars, there it is. Clint Eastwood's wearing a hat like this. Unfortunately, when I looked at it at Amazon, I said, yeah, that's the hat. And then when it showed up, it's actually kind of a 1.5 times scale version of it. So it's it's actually bigger than the one Clint Eastwood was wearing, but it's the same type of hat, and it's a nice leather hat. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's become my trademark. So
yeah, it's cool.
That and oh Lord, yeah.
Oh Lord, yeah. The other trademark, so to speak, of yours is that you guys probably don't know this, okay? But Pete is a health fanatic, fitness fanatic, and you've done something like 2,000 sit-ups in a day. Am I right?
Yeah, there was one day when I hit 2,000 repetitions of abdominal exercises. They weren't all strictly sit-ups, but yeah. So I do enjoy going to the gym. Abdominals is my favorite exercise.
Mm.
I've toned it down, so I've realized that it's not really efficient to do sit-ups for an hour and a half. You might as well just cut that into about 45 minutes or so, 30 to 45 minutes of abs.
So how many sets are you doing right now?
I do a set that's about 500 reps. They're not sit-ups, but they're sort of like the various abdominal exercises. Yeah. 5 minutes of planking, stuff like that. Yeah.
Why I ask is actually because when you're on stage at Megalomania, you only wear the vest, the leather vest, and everybody in the crowd, everybody can see your pecs down there. So your abs.
Yeah, I'm not a big guy, but I do like to keep toned.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to flesh your abs very quickly. Yeah. Okay. Well, did you get that? No. Yeah. Okay, a little bit. We'll get it. We'll get in post anyway. Okay, so moving right along right now, we're coming down to your last song of the day. Yeah. And you want to tell us all about it?
Okay, so this is a song that I actually wrote quite maybe about 2 years ago. This is from my previous band called Superzar, and I mentioned that I'd taken music written by other people, and I added lyrics. But this is a song that I wanted to present to the band, where I'd done both the music and the lyrics. It's called the Vordelak.
All right.
And the Vordelak is, I guess, an Eastern European sort of vampire. I was actually watching the movie called Black Sabbath. So I don't know if anybody out there who's a Black Sabbath fan knows the story behind how the band got its name. But in 1965, an Italian director called Mario Bava put out a film called Black Sabbath. It's a film that has sort of 3 short mini stories within it, and one of them is called The Vordelak, and it's got Boris Karloff playing the patriarch of the family who mysteriously returns 1 minute after midnight.
Quintessential.
They don't know if he's a Vordelak or anything. So it's actually a very sort of Black Sabbath type of a song. I'm playing it on acoustic guitars, but I think it might probably also be very appropriate to play with a full band on electric. So let's give it a try. But anyway, this is the acoustic version, and Jay's learned the riff, and he's going to give me some support. No way I could play this by myself. So let's try the Vordelak, shall we?
All right. So last time out this afternoon, put it together, please, for Peter Hoflich.
Ow! This is going to get a bit loud. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. Let me use my not so floppy pick. It'll sound better. So, okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Drink the blood of those whom they love the best.
If I don't come back by midnight, you must kill me, for I'll be a Vordelak. I'll drink your blood and split your bones. I'll turn you into one of my kind. Try to run, you'll never make it far. Your friends will turn their backs. They know you're cursed. The mark I've planted on your forehead twists your soul and burns your mind out. We the cursed awaken in our graves. We know you will seek out your bloody fate. You will revel in taking lives. You will become the Lord of the Flies. When you wake, you will be a bird alive. When you wake, you will be a bird alive. Bird alive, bird alive, bird alive, bird alive.
All right, Peter Hoflich.
Metal.
Almost ran out of steam there.
Yeah, I mean, Pete, you got when we see our producer here, James going in, it's good stuff.
Yes.
You see James headbanging.
It's a lovely
good,
audience.
Good stuff.
Thanks, James. Thanks,
Yeah.
Ashley.
All right,
Yeah.
Pete. Thanks so much for being on Soft TV.
All
I
right.
hope you enjoyed yourself. Yeah, and Jay too. Hope you guys
Yeah.
enjoyed. Had a good time.
Wonderful. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It was
and thanks so
beautiful.
much.
Beautiful.
Thanks so much
to be part
for-
of this. Yeah, it was beautiful to be part of this fantastic experience. All these great musicians today.
That's right.
And there's another session coming up.
Yes, we got the next session to come out, and we got a great surprise for all you softies out there because Pete Hoflich is going to host the next act.
That's me.
And coming up in about 15, 20 minutes maybe, we've got the Away Project. So stick around and chill out. We're only just getting started. Peace and out.